Hey everybody, my name is Crys'Dawna. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, hit the subscribe button. If you're not new here, welcome back, friends and family. And if you're not subscribed, we've talked about this before. I know. Just commit to me. Anyways, so guys, today we are going to be painting this buffet. So we are going to be doing almost like a blend of blues and a ceruse finish on here. And I'm gonna show you guys in a second why I chose to do a ceruse finish on here. This wood itself already has a really deep grain. So I want you to think of maybe some furniture that comes from like Restoration Hardware or Our House, how it has that deep grain in the wood already. And so that is like that on the entire piece. This is definitely a reproduction meant to look like it's older. Doesn't matter, it is still just super high quality. We've got our nice drawers. It is solid wood, but my client wants something different and she doesn't like these little things, which these are actually metal. These are metal. This is just a really interesting piece. I've not really ever worked on a piece that has such deep wood grain on the entire thing. So again, we are going to do some blues that are blended. She wants to make this into a coffee bar, and we are also going to do a ceruse type finish, use some white wax on here. So I'm going to show you here in a second how deep this wood grain is. Like I said, it's very interesting. I don't think that this is a antique. I do think that it's a reproduction, but nevertheless, it is still a really nice piece and it's got great bones. So we are going to try to make this special for my client. So if you guys want to see that, stay here. You can see right here, this piece has a deep wood grain on the entire thing. And so we're going to use that to our advantage. And we're going to do some areas with a little bit of a cerusing, which is the white wax is going to sit in that wood grain after we are done painting and blending it. So it's going to be perfect for this piece. We are going to remove all of the appliques on here, and these are metal. So I'm just going to take a flathead screwdriver and carefully go underneath it because there are some nails. There's one, so the bottom of these had little flathead screws, but then the most of them just had nails. So you just have to get a counter pressure to be able to pull that up. So we're going to do that. And then what I'm going to do is clean this entire piece so we have a nice clean slate for when we go in and we paint. My client picked blues for this piece, so we are going to use Country Chic's paint, and we're going to do a coat of Starstruck on the entire piece. We're actually going to do 2 coats of Starstruck on the entire piece. So we're going to do 1 coat, we're going to allow it to thoroughly dry, and then we'll do our 2nd coat, and this will allow us to have a really nice base coat for when we go in to blend. I like having base coats so that way when I do blend and work the paint, it's not going to go down to the original finish. Here we are with 2 dried coats of Starstruck, and we're going to go in and blend. So this side right here is what we're going to aim for. And we're going to be using Peacoat. We're all using all Country Chic paint, but we're using Peacoat, Starstruck, and then Nightfall. And then I'm also going to be using my Paint Pixie Caddie Brush, which is going to be my clean, dry, neutral brush. You want a rag and you want a mister bottle. Country Chic's paint is a clay-based all-in-one paint. So it's going to self-seal, but it is clay-based, so it blends really, really nice. So it's a very unique all-in-one paint where a lot of all-in-one paints don't blend very well. This one does, and that's one of the reasons why I really like it, is it blends really well and it's an all-in-one, so you don't have to seal it later on if you don't want to. So what I did is I misted the entire piece and I just did a skim coat of Starstruck on here. And now what I'm doing is I'm taking Nightfall. And if you've seen me blend before, I usually do the dark on the outside, but this time we're going to do almost a reverse blend. So I'm taking Nightfall, which is the lighter color, and we're going to go and we're going to put it on the outside, and we're just going to mark everywhere that we want Nightfall. So I'm going around all the edges, and we're going to put just a light coat of that on there. The next thing that we're going to do is we are going to put a little tiny bit of our Starstruck on our brush, and we're going to add that to the center in between where all of the lighter areas are, where we put the Nightfall. And this is going to help darken it, and it's also going to give us some wet paint, so that way they can blend together and we can start getting these to all blend and marry together. Next step will be to take your clean, dry, neutral brush. You want to mist the area so there's moisture, and you're going to blend these together. You're going to go horizontal, you're going to go vertical, you can go in circles, you can go diagonal if you want. What I do is I take my rag and I kind of wipe it off while I'm doing this, just so that I can get any excess paint off, because I do want to keep this more dry and not filled with a bunch of paint. So that's why I wipe that clean, dry, neutral brush off. But what we're doing is we're blending these colors together. Now you can see that it's lightening it up. So I'm going to go in with a darker color here in a second, and we're going to add that shading. Right here we have Peacoat, and that is the dark navy blue. I'm going to put it in the center just like I did when I put the Starstruck in between. And what this is going to do is it's going to darken it up, and that way we can add some shading, and that way you'll have the lighter on the outside and then you'll have the darker on the inside. I'm going to just do some circles and just lightly with a light hand try to just blend that in, but I don't want to blend it in too much to the lighter because I don't want that lighter color to take it over. So I'm just kind of lightly blending it into that area. I'm going to take my neutral brush again and mist it, and then I am going to just very, very lightly with a light hand go over those areas to make sure that I can get that Peacoat to blend into those other colors without removing the darkness of it and keeping the dark areas and the light areas still a little bit separate. We're going to work on that inside panel, and we are going to mist it, and we're going to outline that with Nightfall. So we want to lighten up the outside, and we're going to outline it with Nightfall and kind of push that Nightfall a little bit further out instead of just having that line. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to overlap that with Starstruck, so that way we can create a really nice blend. So we're going to take Starstruck, just lightly go over the edges where that Nightfall is, and then we're going to keep it misted so that you have moisture, and we're going to take Peacoat and we're going to put that in the center. So we have the darkest to the lightest from the center going out. We're going to mist it, and we're going to take our clean, dry, neutral brush, and we are just going to blend those together. You're going to go horizontal, vertical, you can go in circles, you can go diagonal, and this is going to help blend that center.
I let this piece sit overnight before I came in with my clear wax. So remember, this is an all-in-one paint, so you don't have to seal it, but I like putting a top coat or a wax on it because you can see right here how it richens the colors up. So if you put a wax or a top coat on it, it is going to deepen your colors, and I really like that. So I take the wax and I'm going to apply it on the entire piece, and then I wipe off the excess, and then I wait a little bit, and then I buff it in, and it has a really nice sheen. I'm actually going to show you in the next clip the difference between it being waxed and not waxed. So the left side does not have wax, and the right side has wax on it. There are a few reasons why I used clear wax on here. I want this to be on my piece to act as a barrier between the piece and the white wax, because I want to be able to wipe back the white wax easier. And so when you put clear wax down and then you put a colored wax, you're able to wipe it back a little bit better. So not only that, but I wanted to make sure the entire piece was sealed. I am only using the white wax in cracks and crevices. So you could see in that little clip right there, the right hand side has the wax, and we're just going to lighten up those areas that already have the lighter color. So we're going to just take that white wax and only really concentrate on the areas that are lighter. So we want this to have like a washed look. And so we're putting the white wax in all of the areas and going over where we had Nightfall, which is the lighter color. After I apply the white wax, I'm going to wipe it back with a microfiber cloth anywhere that I want it to be a little bit darker. And then what I'm going to do, and anywhere that I want it to have almost a ceruse finish where it's deep in the grain, I'm going to go in the opposite direction of the wood grain so I can push that wax into the wood grain. And you're going to see me do it here. Right here, I'm going in the opposite direction of the wood grain, so that way I can get that wax to just sit in there. And then this is going to finish off the piece. We're going to put the hardware back on, and this piece is going to be done.
Okay, everybody, I hope you enjoyed that video. Here is the piece. I really like it. I'm wondering if my client will notice if I just never take it back to her. What do you guys think? I'm just kidding. Or am I? Okay, so everything I use is in the description below. I hope you guys have an amazing, amazing weekend. Happy creating, and until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye.
Gonna let the sun shine in today. I'm trying to make this darkness go away. I'll paint with colors and I'll sing until my lungs give out. I'm gonna let the sun shine in